Hi flower friends, it's Madonna from Eastside Flower Farm, Los Angeles, California, Zone 9. And we are going to deadhead our roses. So right now it's starting to get warm and your roses start to pull back a little bit because, you know, when it's over 100 degrees, they're hot, we're hot, everybody's hot, and, you know, they just kind of pull back for a little bit. So what you want to do is when you see that your roses start dying off, you know, they're done, they're spent, you want to trim them off the rose bush because you don't want that rose bush putting energy in to taking care of roses that they're done. So we're going to deadhead, which means we're going to clip the old blooms off. They're going to kind of, you know, they'll spit out a bloom here or there, and they're going to wait until it's fall, till it's a little bit cooler, and then they're going to put out another flush of just great blooms. So there are right and wrong ways to deadhead. What you don't want to do is, see this one's spent, what you don't want to do is just go and clip it like that and leave that stem. See that stem right there? That is not the right way to do it. If you leave your roses like this, one, it's going to be ugly because there's a bunch of stems like this sticking up. Two, this is all going to die back up to the leaf set. So you want to make sure you go to the leaf set. So now here's the next thing. Is it 3? Is it 5? Is it 1? Is it, I don't know if there's such thing as 4, but is it imperative that you do it at a 5 leaf? No. Can you do it at a 3 leaf? So right here, it's a 3 leaf. So if you're just going out, I have 400 rose bushes. I do not always go and look for a 5 leaf set. A lot of times I just come along, I see a leaf set, I go right to that leaf and I chop it off. Does it have to be angled, slanted, straight? Doesn't matter, just cut it, just get it off of there. But you only want to do it, you know, you want to leave it about this distance, you know, it's about 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 inch above it. So I cut it at a 3 leaf set. Is that wrong? No, it's not wrong. You could do that, and I've done that lots of times, but they tell you that you should go to a 5 leaf set. So what's the difference of 3 leaf set, or if I go right down here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, go down the 5 leaf set, prune it off. So what's the difference? At a 5 leaf set, that's the strongest part of that branch. So when you cut it to the 5 leaf and it grows back, it has more support for that flower head that's going to grow on it. The 3, I'm telling you, there's not a whole bunch of difference. So if you know, don't spend too much time looking at every single 5 leaf one, thinking if you don't do it at a 5 leaf, it's not going to work. It is absolutely going to work. So here's another one right here. So this first 5 set, see, the rose is spent, right? So this first, see, remember, so you don't want to do this and leave this big stem. So now your first 5 set, it's really small. I want to go down a little bit further. So I'm going to go to the next, so there's a 5, a 5, a 5. So I'm going to go down the 3rd one, and I'm going to cut it back there. So what you don't want to do is prune really hard in the summertime, because you're just trying to get these little dead heads off so that, like I said, the energy isn't spent trying to protect these blooms that are dead, and it can get ready for new blooms like this. So when here's another one, I'll just cut it off right quick. So when I'm doing like these, this is a Memorial Day and it's beautiful. Now this one, it can get a little bit out of control, so I always cut long or cut deep. So I'm going to look for a 5 set. I'm going to go down here and I just snip it off, and that's exactly how I'm going to cut this whole bush, all of those that are ready. I'm not going to cut the whole bush, only the ones that need to be deadhead. If they're still looking good, they're going to stay on the bush. So you just really want to do this for maintenance. Now is probably a good time. If you feed your roses, go ahead and deadhead them. Go ahead and give them a little bit of food, because like I said, they're going into the hot weather and they tend to struggle a little bit also. So just make sure you're watering it, regular water throughout the season, because they really need that. So over here, you know, even when my roses start to get like this, where I know they're at the end, you know, they're open center, so they're kind of done, I go ahead and I find, you know, 5, and I just chop it off. I don't spend a lot of time worrying about if I did it exactly right or if it's a 5 or 3. 5 is what you're supposed to do. I cut lots of 3s, and I just kind of go along and chop. So you can take some, if your rose bush like this, if you find a piece that's getting really out of proportion with the rest of it, Well, it's okay. You know, these are pretty much all spent. That one's not. That's a good one. So now I'll struggle with that one. So I'll go in, you know, and I'll cut this branch off. Leave a leaf set. See, there, it's not an empty stem sticking up. I'm going to leave this one. I'm going to leave that one because they're still good. So if your rose is a little out of proportion, like let's say this one, and these look, okay, they're spent, you know, they're on their way out. They're at their latter stage because the centers get open like this. You can go ahead, see how this is sticking up a little bit more? You can go ahead and go down a 5 set and prune it for proportion. So now that's going to throw up more buds and it stays a little bit more proportion. So anytime like that one up there, it's still got a bud. I'll cut that later. But always cut your roses for shape. Always get rid of all your blooms that are dying off because you want that energy to go into new little buds. So like here's one over here, last one. See this whole stem? So this is what you're not gonna do. You're not gonna go and cut these like this. This is a floribunda. So it has a stem and then it has one long cane and then it branches out and has multiple blooms. So you are not going to do this, cut at the top and leave all these little spikes on top. You're not gonna do that. These are all gonna get black and die and it just looks ugly. So with this, what I do is I go down about halfway, 2, 4, 6, here's actually a 7 branch. So can we cut it a 7 branch or a leaf? Absolutely. So I just go down there, put it in proportion with the rest of the bush, cut that one off. If I leave a stem like that, I just take it right down. So you want to make sure you do that now because a lot of roses are, you know, they're tapped out right now. So go ahead and do that. So your next flush will be a nice, big, awesome blooms of beauty. All right, guys, get out there and deadhead your roses. Thanks.